Hello again. I know you got tired of seeing my mug, but I just had to add something else on my mind. The idea of working the biceps and the involvement of shoulder, or I should say, the dependency or the requirement of proper shoulder mobility or proper shoulder stabilization. Because there are two things, mobility and stabilization. So how is the shoulder involved in biceps movement? Well, for starters, the biceps and the deltoids are connected at the same location on the shoulder, on the humerus. Same location, however, not the exact same location. They're connected at different parts of the humerus. The deltoid has three heads, has the anterior deltoid, the medial, and the posterior. So we're really talking about the anterior deltoid here and its connection, insertion into the humeral head. So what is the function of the anterior deltoid? Well, the anterior deltoid does this. Now, does that look familiar? It should. Because when you do a barbell curl, any kind of curl, don't you have a tendency to do that and raise your upper arm? That's because there's another muscle called the coracobrachialis. It's right there. Right in front of your armpit. Not in front of your nose, but in front of your armpit. And it helps elevate the arm. Now, that not just elevates the arm, but it stabilizes that humeral head, which is your upper arm bone, it stabilizes it with your clavicle, which is up here. But what does the bicep have to do with any of this? What? Well, the biceps brings the forearm. Okay? It brings the forearm to the shoulder. It doesn't bring the forearm out. It doesn't bring the upper arm out. So that is the role of the bicep, to bring the forearm to the shoulder. Now, if you bring the forearm to the shoulder and you have the movement towards your shoulder, that's the outer biceps, which is technically called the long head. So look at this movement. Looks similar? It does. But does it involve external rotation, or does it involve shoulder flexion? If you try to perform shoulder flexion and external rotation, guess what? You are pulling your shoulder away from its insertion. So appearances, you see this? If I put my hand in front of your face and I do this, you can't get an accurate perception of things. This is what's going on here. People are mistaking external rotation for a bicep movement. And it's I'm not even going to get into it. But I'm tempted. But let me show you some biceps curls. And let me show you the mechanics and the dynamics. You notice in the first movement when I attempted to externally rotate my shoulders, I didn't have any good stability in my shoulders or my upper arms. You notice when I curled towards my shoulders and I maintained that forearm even with the upper arm in line. So I maintained that forearm in line with the upper arm. You notice that much more stability, much more strength in that curl. So please don't mistake external rotation for a bicep movement.